what are you affirming or relearning or learning anew about leadership in the context of the pandemic?
I tell you, there's no question that, a couple of things have come to the forefront of importance on the leadership side. The first I would tell you, the two I would frame this with is empathy and responsibility that COVID has kind of amplified in this, frankly, over the last few months here. When I talk about empathy, it's empathy for starting with our employees and their circumstance, their families, and how that's impacting on a daily basis, and how that also ultimately translates to our customers, right? Which ultimately empathy for our customers. But the interesting pattern there is if you have empathy and you're plugged in and you're doing the right things for your employees, it usually translates to better care for your customers. It's just a better experience overall. So I would tell you on the empathy side, just a feel for the combination of home and work and how that is now one. That scenario with all of the remote workers, which is in Microsoft's case, 99% of our workers plus are working out of the home at this point. Just understanding the combination of work-life balance, also the impact that can occur when you have additional responsibilities in a crisis like this, such as homeschooling some of your children, or frankly, just the responsibility of a household itself with a whole bunch of family under one roof for an extended period of time. And the last piece I would say is empathy for the fact that work and life can blend together in this environment, and definitely being mindful relative to that. When I talk about the responsibility side, it has to do with leadership around our customers and ultimately the responsibility we have as a Microsoft around delivering not only technology that can help them with the areas that are amplified by the crisis, such as it could be anything from telemedicine to collaboration to communication within teams and the products that we bring to market around collaboration, but also the responsibility to show up on a consistent basis for our customers for anything they need. And that could be a combination of requirements around technology, or frankly, just support relative to financial structure, or whatever that might be relative to their business. So it's a combination of both. We push our teams to be, frankly, responsive and, more important, technology savvy enough, or more, put it this way, prepared for each of these circumstances as we're delivering it. So I'd say those combinations are the two biggest areas.
What are you most proud of that Microsoft, particularly for enterprise-sized clients, has been able to deliver in kind of a unique or agile way in response to those needs of those customers?
So I would tell you it's been a couple of layers of proud of, right? So I probably have conversations with 20 to 25 customers a week. It is the vast majority have come back with pretty consistent feedback of the list of companies that they have worked with as a partner in this crisis. Microsoft is absolutely near the top when it comes to responsiveness and, frankly, leaning in relative to our relationship. And that could be anything from combinations of our commercial relationship with each other, with our customers, as well as responsiveness from a technology perspective, new challenges that they had that were altered by the crisis. That could be everything from accelerating projects that they had that were now going to be very important to, frankly, providing rock solid technology that is both flexible and secure for all levels of the organization. Teams is a perfect example there. Microsoft Teams as a collaboration tool. That's a product that's going to touch everything from a frontline worker to a CEO. And it's impacted each of them in one way or another. But it's absolutely changed the way certain companies not only look at how they talk to each other or collaborate, but actually how they look at technology, which is something that I think has thrust them a little bit forward. So hopefully that's a good capsule of some of the thoughts relative to that.
Are there things that you think will make Microsoft stronger as a result of this? I know no one would wish this on the world, but given that it is here, what are the opportunity spaces that you think strengthen Microsoft so they'll be stronger through adversity, which is actually the title of the book?
Yeah, I think there's no question that there has always been questions around what is the right balance of remote and on-premise workers. There's no question. And this has been an incredible stress test of that concept and how productive you could be and what are some of the positives that you'll see. I do believe COVID will change the entire planet, let alone the technology industry going forward. And I think it has a lot to do with productivity and communication and, frankly, the utilization of technology to basically amplify that. So I do think what's happened is the combination of collaboration tools, number one, the exposure that COVID has created to the need for a digital transformation is a second piece. And I'll give you some examples of that. So one, collaboration, pretty simple. Tools that are in place that are nimble, secure, scalable, so that you can obviously communicate like we are right now relative to video conferencing. When I look at business transformation, I'm talking about COVID has put stress on all areas of the business. That could be your supply chain, whether or not you have the technology to be nimble, to change out what ways you've done business for 100 years. Or it could actually be your volumes and the structure that you're handling relative to that. And so what technology can do is provide the infrastructure so that you can scale, be flexible, be nimble, and frankly, handle a crisis like this. And so I think it's really put a lot of customers on towards a hard look at not only the products that they currently have, but frankly, the security around those products. So, and the need for a flexible and scalable set of solutions. And so I do think this is going to be more and more amplified as we go forward.